You are going to remember this moment for the rest of your life. We are running out of time. It's officially 51 days till Trump's inauguration. And I'm telling you right now, altcoin season is coming. It's here. It's happening. What are you doing about it? In this video, I'm going to be attempting to lay out the exact timeline from the beginning of altcoin season to when I sell all of my cryptocurrency and we enter a bear market. I've been doing this for a very long time. Here's transactions when I was buying Ethereum in 2016 for $7. I kept buying Ethereum as aggressively as possible. And as you can see here, I was even buying Bitcoin super early 2015. And I'm telling you, this altcoin cycle trumps all of this. I was not born with any special gift. I didn't know things that other people knew. This was me coming from nothing, being excited about a $500 check on my first entrepreneurship journey, and I made millions off of crypto. I came from nothing. My family was broke. This is an opportunity for you guys to do the exact same thing with your life. If you're watching this video, you have less than 52 days left to get right. The altcoin season is upon us. I went from completely broke, homeless. I was homeless at one point in my life, living in my friend's living room, on his bed, to now making millions off of crypto. And that opportunity happens every 4 years. And it's literally less than 52 days away. Pay attention to what's going on. And when I say there is nothing like this on the face of the planet, I mean it. This was from last cycle. As you can see right here, Bitcoin topped out. Then we have 554,000% increase. That's like turning $1,000 into $5.5 million. This is literally a better opportunity than me buying Ethereum at $7, if you guys didn't understand this. The opportunity is not gone. It's just getting started. Regulatory clarity is coming to altcoins. These altcoins are going to be where the profit is at. And altcoin season is upon us. It's on the horizon. This is absolutely ridiculous from last cycle. Like turning $1,000 into $76 million from bottom to top. Where else can you get that? I need an explanation. Why are people focusing on other things? I don't understand. Is it because you don't get that this is possible? Is it too good to be true? Of course it looks too good to, of course. Obviously, this looks too good to be true. But the facts are the facts. This is an anomaly in reality. This won't happen forever. By the way, it was very similar in the dot-com boom as well. Things like this happen for a short period of time, then they're gone forever. Shiba Inu, I don't even want to say the numbers out loud. I don't even want to say the numbers out loud. But here's the numbers. Read it for yourself. I don't even want to say it because it sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm crazy. But I do it every cycle. This is my third cycle. And I'm getting better and better. And this cycle, I'm going to change my life like it always happens every single time. This is the year I break $100 million off of cryptocurrency. What are you going to do? How much money are you going to make? I want to know. And if you are not taking this serious and like, I don't have enough time to take advantage of the greatest financial opportunity in the history of mankind, well, I don't know what else you're doing because technically, you spend 1/3 of your entire existence at a job. So you're working for money anyways. So you might as well work on something that gives you higher multiples for your time, right? Isn't time freedom? Don't you want to buy back your time? Look, at this point in your life is when you can retire. So the vast majority of your life, you're working for money. How is it not important to take advantage of these multiples? I don't understand it. It does not go through my brain. I can't process it. When people say, I don't have enough time to get in crypto, what are you talking about? That is a lot of time. This right here is a lot of time to waste at a paycheck. That is a lot of time. There's nothing else more important in your financial life. In your financial life, you should be focusing on multiplying your money so you could take that purple area and bring it up here so you can retire early. This is how you do it. You have to multiply your money. You have to learn investing. And the best niche in the world to invest is the thing that goes up 500,000%. I don't know what you want me to tell you. And not only has it happened in the past, but it's happening right now in front of your eyes. Coins are going up 2,200% in the last 30 days. This is not normal. This is an anomaly in reality. People are like, oh, you could do that in options trading. No, this is spot buying. This is different. There actually is nothing on the face of the planet that will give you these returns when you spot buy, which is significantly less risk than leverage or options. People don't understand. This is not normal. There's nothing in the world that gets even close. Nothing gets even close to this. It's heating up right now as we speak. I have been putting in overtime. I have been putting in massive amount of work. And right now, I want to lay out in extreme detail, probably more clarity than you've ever seen before, the exact pinpoint timeline for the altcoin cycle, how it's going to start, what it's going to look like, the official prediction, all the way to the point of even selling. This video is going to lay all that out for you. So everything from the beginning all the way to the point where I actually sell all of my cryptocurrency, exit the market, and it's the bear market. I'm going to dive in extreme detail. Extreme detail, guys. My goal here is to just lay out my entire theory to help as many people as possible because we're getting way too close. People are not taking this serious. So I'm working overtime in the lab. Do me a favor, like the video if you appreciate this. Leave a comment down below if you have any question. And for all the people that's asking, yes, on December 2nd, which is Cyber Monday, at midnight, I will be closing the door to all of my subscription groups, everything. You will not be able to buy coin picks after December 2nd. Let me say it again. I'm closing the door. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's going to be preparation for altcoin season. I am preparing on every level when it comes to my strategy, the specific altcoins I'm buying, as well as the entire course and the entire system is being revamped and created from scratch. I am focusing my entire existence on this. That is how important this is to me. And right now it's 50% off. So, there's another one, but they're 50 up to 50% off. Right now, take advantage. And if you don't take advantage, it doesn't matter. I'm going to reopen it in the future. It's not that serious. But for the people that want to take advantage, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to pull the trigger and start making money. Treat it like a professional. You have to treat it like a professional. All doors are closing December 2nd. You will not be able to DM me. There will be no special favors. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care. I'm closing the doors. You will not be able to purchase this after December 2nd. So without further ado, let's jump into the precise timeline for the next altcoin super cycle and exactly what I'm doing with my holdings to take advantage of the most lucrative financial opportunity in the past 100 years. So this is the exact timeline of events. I believe Bitcoin's going to reject off 100K BTC, retest its previous all-time high as 74K BTC. Then somewhere between the 100K BTC rejection and the Trump inauguration, this is basically when Trump actually officially goes into office on January 20th. So from today's date till the Trump inauguration, it's exactly 52 days. And I believe that within that time period, we're going to see the market fall roughly 20 to 25%. Now, after Trump goes into office, he's going to offer us regulatory clarity, and that's when I believe the official altcoin season is going to start. We're going to break 100K BTC, and all altcoins are going to just completely start to fly. Then, somewhere down the line, altcoin season usually lasts roughly 8 months to 12 months. It's going to top out and officially start what I call the power cycle. In the power cycle, it's a 30-day event. And this is where all of the money is made. The biggest altcoins you have ever heard of, they all skyrocketed during this one small period of time. This is where everyone drops the biggest advertising campaigns, Super Bowl ads. Every big entity in crypto just dumps all of their money in advertisements, and they all sell as much cryptocurrency as possible. The market goes ballistic. It's called the power cycle. We'll jump into that towards the end of the video. And then in that period of time, 30 days or so, that's when the official entire market ends and we go into a bear market, and that's when I'm going to sell all of my cryptocurrency. Now, the first thing I want to do is really hit this point home because I talked about it in my last video, but I just really want to explain how important this is. So, psychological levels are important because they represent round, memorable numbers where human emotions such as fear, greed, and optimism naturally converge, leading to increased trading activity, self-fulfilling resistance and support zones, and significant behavioral shifts in market participants. If you've been involved with any type of trading, you should know this. This is beginner trading stuff. And that's important to me because being that it's for beginners and everyone should know this, then everyone knows it. That's the point. Everyone knows that 100K BTC is a monumental psychological number. I'm willing to state right now that this number has gotten more popularity than any other psychological number in Bitcoin's history, ever. Now, this comes from experience, can't really prove this, but I will say that being involved with 3 different bull markets and 3 different bear markets, this number has been thrown around since 2016. People have been talking about the price of Bitcoin going to 100K per coin since 2016, consistently, over and over, out of everybody's mouth. So it's not going to just explode right through 100K BTC without a fight. It doesn't happen that way. That's not how any financial asset class ever works. People are always going to take profit at 100K BTC. Now let's take a look at all the psychological levels, right? So this is Bitcoin's price, or the BLX specifically. And as you can see right here, this is at $1. Look at it. Big resistance. It took 63 days for it to break back above the dollar price point. And if you look specifically, it went down a lot. It went down 47%. Now, let me be clear. When it comes to looking at a price chart, let me not mislead people so they understand. If you look at a price chart, what happens over time is it becomes less and less volatile. Any price chart. And these are all the big psychological levels, by the way. But basically, when it comes to any asset class, over time, the volatility decreases. Volatility just basically means how fast it moves in a short period of time, like volume, right? How many buys and sells are happening in a short period of time. So for example, as you can see right here, look at these percentage increases. And this happens for every asset class on the face of the planet. That's a 58,000% increase. That was a crazy bull market. Now look at this bull market. That was only 1,000. So throughout time, liquidity increases, meaning the amount of money in the pool increases. So to move the market, it's significantly harder. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because early on in Bitcoin's history, testing this theory on psychological levels, there should be a significant amount of volatility early on, right? More volatility early on, meaning tested psychological level went down 47%. It's pretty extreme. And that's a lot, right? And then it exploded through, right? Let's go to the $10 price level over here. As you can see, just a lot of volatility. It doesn't look like a lot, but look at this from the top to the bottom here. That's a 50% drop. Imagine, and this is the daily time frame. Imagine in 3 days the asset price going down 50%. I just don't see that happening right now because, I mean, think about it. Bitcoin spot ETF, there's too much institutional interest for something like this to happen. So, but the point I'm trying to make is like, look, there was a lot of fight. It did break above it and it went to $13. But look at how far low it went, right? It's just a lot of fights, a lot of volatility. Can we break through 100K BTC, get to like 101K, and then fall back down? Yeah, I believe so. It's gonna be a fight, is what I'm trying to say. We don't know for sure. Now look at this one. This is $100 BTC. Look at that craziness. It did, broke through this psychological level, but look at how far it came back down. That's insane. See, the thing is, you don't want to be holding altcoins when Bitcoin crashes 80%. Because if Bitcoin's crashing 80%, these altcoins are going to crash like 98%. So this is why I've been off the table, just being patient. Patience is important. Patience is really important. In a market where everything is lucrative, I'd rather be the guy that can have patience and not do anything. Look at this right here. This entire bull market was ended at $1,000 price level. So this bull market here ended at the $1,000 price level. That's how important these psychological levels are. And Bitcoin proceeded to drop 85%. So for people to just think that it's just going to mosey on through here and it's just going to break through and keep going up forever, I think there's going to be a fight. Now watch this one. This is the $10,000 price level. Now we did break through instantly, right? We did break through Bitcoin instantly. Went up 100% since it broke through, right? It's a $20,000 BTC. Now, psychological levels work in multiples of 5 and 10. So 20,000 is technically a psychological level, but it did break through this is the 20,000, this is the 10,000. It did break through 10,000, and the 20,000 was the psychological level as well. Now, it just so happened to be that it broke through this one, right? The $10,000 level. But 20,000 is still a psychological number. 30,000 is a psychological number. 40,000, if you understand this, it's multiples of 10, multiples of 5, right? These are all psychological numbers. And right here, right, look at how much resistance was at 10K. It was almost like a perfect resistance understanding magnet. Look, resistance, 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 resistance. Then when it broke through and made support, we entered the bull run. This is trading 101. It went right here. We made support, entered the bull run. That is what I want to happen. That's what I want to see happen, at least when it comes to this. I believe there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight. Can we break up above it? It's going to fight, and it's going to drop down. And I want it to, that's too far. What I want it to do is make support on previous all-time high. This is previous all-time. It's going to fight, drop down, make support. That's when I believe we're going to enter this altcoin cycle, which is what I'm trying to say. So the first point, I'm really trying to make sure you guys understand. The first big point is that we have a massive psychological level. And when it comes to all these levels, like the 10,000, the 100, I'm telling you right now, there's nothing bigger than 100K BTC. There's nothing bigger than 100K BTC. This is the biggest psychological number in all of Bitcoin's history, hands down. Nothing is even close to that. So just to be clear, 100K BTC that we are coming upon right now has so much historical hype and longevity. It's been out since 2016. People have been talking about this 100K BTC as a central milestone for a very long time. The cultural and media saturation, the idea of Bitcoin hitting 100K has dominated the financial market on all social platforms for years. The roundness and milestone appeal. As a six-figure number, 100K symbolizes Bitcoin's maturity and status as a legitimate global financial asset. Market behavior in similar levels. Historical resistance at major psychological levels like 1K and 10K suggest that 100K will create even greater trading activity and volatility. And also the institutional and global interest. And unlike previous milestones, we have not experienced this before because this time we have not only the retail hype, but we also have institutional participation amplifying its significance in market psychology. And before we continue, the reason why I keep talking about Bitcoin when this video is originally about the altcoin cycle is because Bitcoin moves the entire market. As you can see right here, this orange line is Bitcoin's price. The top one is Ethereum, and the bottom one is the total 3. This is basically a representation of all altcoins. So Bitcoin typically leads the show, and then the altcoins follow. Altcoins don't have that much liquidity. They don't. So technical analysis is not as effective on these smaller altcoins. It's way better to understand the market direction on Bitcoin. So I just wanted to show you the correlation so you understand that I'm doing technical analysis. All of my analysis usually when it comes to market direction is going to be on Bitcoin. But when I do enter the market, I will be entering in specific altcoins. Now in this video, I will be revealing exactly my buy points when it comes to altcoins. So pay attention, take notes, do what you have to do. I just wanted to explain this because I know it's a little bit confusing for people. I use Bitcoin as an indicator because of how big it is, how much institutional adoption there is, how many ATMs there are, how many on-ramps and off-ramps, and just so much infrastructure. Bitcoin is the oldest coin. So I use it as an indicator for altcoins. When Bitcoin goes up, altcoins follow. If Bitcoin goes down, altcoins follow. Altcoins are like an amplifier. People don't understand this, but altcoins are like an amplifier. So as I've been explaining over and over again that we're going to reject off 100K BTC short term, potentially retest 74K BTC, and then when Trump actually officially goes into office, this is where we're going to get regulatory clarity, and it's going to send us into the bull market. So I believe I made this point very clear and this point very clear, but let's try to elaborate on this a little bit more. Now, if we're looking at these 2 points here, right? So we have 2 points. Look at the 2 red lines, right? Look at the 2 red lines. We have previous all-time high. So this is Bitcoin's price. If you guys want to see it clearly, look, this is just a normal Bitcoin's price. And we have this all-time high that we've been fighting for a long time. We fought. We're just fighting it, right? And then we have the 100K psychological level. Those are the 2 red lines. So red line, right? Then we had this fight over here. I believe that in this period of time, this is when Trump is going into office. The Trump inauguration is January 20th, right? Right here, from where we're at right now to a Trump inauguration, I believe the price is going to drop. Now, I could be wrong. Either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either way. I'm still going to make money, and I'll explain why right after this. It doesn't matter. This is just my official theory, right? That's all it is. Theories can be incorrect, so don't be weird and emotional. Please don't be emotional, which is one of the hardest things to do in crypto. But the point is, I believe within this box, we're going to see a rejection down. Yes, I do. I really believe that. Because, again, the psychological level, right? And the question you have to ask is, well, that's a lot, Alex, right? That's a lot, because if we do reject off here, that means that Bitcoin has to drop 25.91% in such a short period of time. Has that ever happened before? And the answer is yes. As you can see right here, Bitcoin dropped 24% in 35 days. Look at that. Right here, Bitcoin dropped 25% in 28 days. Right here, Bitcoin dropped 23% in 49 days. Now, what's important about this is that this just happened. This just happened, guys. It just happened. Now, if we look through the past, right, and this is looking at Bitcoin's current bull run, you don't want to go into the other bull runs because it's so consistent. It happens all the time. Bitcoin's price crashes all the time. Here's another point here where we have a 21% drop in 14 days. Here's a 20% drop in 70 days. Here's a 20% drop in 63 days. Here's another 22% drop in 21 days. So to answer that question right here, which is, can Bitcoin drop 25.91% in 56 days from where we're at now to the Trump inauguration? Well, it's happened before. It's happened a lot, actually. It's actually very consistent in Bitcoin's history. And we are in a zone called price discovery, meaning we don't have any price structure. Look at Bitcoin's history. We've never been here before. This is called price discovery. We are discovering where support and resistance is at. Meaning, if you understand how asset prices work, if you understand how technical analysis works, it's very simple. Structure is needed. There needs to be previous price action in certain price zones for it to build structure and then eventually breaks out. So this right here is structure. This is price structure. Let me pull up in this square here. Price structure, right? Look at this zone. There's a lot of price action in this area. Remember, when you look at this, let's just take a deeper look at it, right? When you're looking at this stuff, these are a whole bunch of buyers and sellers. So meaning there's people right here that purchased Bitcoin, and then throughout this entire period of time, they were holding at a loss. And there's also people here that sold Bitcoin, and throughout this entire period of time, they saved themselves money. So they've been watching that price for a while. So it's ingrained in people's brains. So when it comes to this price structure, this has for a while been trying to break through. For a while, this has built a lot of structure. And when it built this structure, it allowed it to then explode up. It needs something to explode from. This is why we have these periods of time where you have a big explosion, build structure, big explosion,
builds structure. Big explosion builds structure. Same thing here. Big explosion builds structure. Big explosion. Now, why is this structure bigger? Why is it right here more significant? All these were so small. I'll tell you why. This was previous all-time high, which is, you guessed it, another psychological level. This is the all-time high for BTC. And I'm telling you right now, 100K BTC right here is a bigger psychological level than breaking this all-time high. I'm telling you this right now. Like, there's no way to prove that, but I'm telling you from my history, me being in this market for a while, there's nothing that's been talked about more in Bitcoin's history than it breaking 100K. Like, it is the most popular thing on the face of the planet when it comes to Bitcoin, and specifically Bitcoin's price. 100K BTC is the most popular thing. So I think it's way more significant than its previous all-time high. And I'm just trying to explain this so you guys really understand what I'm trying to lay out here. This is no joke. You will remember this for the rest of your life. You are in a historical moment right now as we speak. History is being made right before your eyes. Don't take this lightly. It's not going to just break through and go to the moon in 2 seconds. This is going to be a fight. It has to be a fight. This is going to be a fight, guys. Now, so that we talked about specifically retesting maybe 74K BTC, the Trump inauguration. When Trump comes into office, the next point for me is that he's going to provide regulatory clarity. He's going to be putting in regulations to make cryptocurrencies easier to build. So let's look into exactly what he said about this market. So Trump basically said that we're going to make the United States the crypto capital of the planet. So his goal is to make the United States the global leader. And he's also talked about potentially making cryptocurrencies 0% capital gains tax if they're American made. Now, we don't know what American made means. But what I do know is that if I don't have to pay taxes on cryptocurrency, right now I have to pay 10 to 20%, when it comes to capital gains. That is insane. Like, if you only understood how insane that is. All those people that flew to other parts of the world to get 0% taxes are going to start wanting to be a part of America, right? The rules will be written by the people who love your industry, not hate your industry. So this is like getting Gary Gensler fired. This dude has waged war on cryptocurrency for the longest period of time, and Trump basically said he's going to fire him on day one, and Gary Gensler resigned. So he's already doing this right now. He's already providing regulatory clarity before he's actually in office. He also said that he's going to end the anti-crypto crusade. He's also said he's going to encourage the use of excess energy from power plants for mining Bitcoin. These are all very, very, very crazy, really, really crazy, statements said by a pro-crypto president. You have to understand, guys, crypto was regarded as a scam for a very long period of time. Now we have a pro-crypto president. All the older guys with all that money, they're like, okay, this is legit, right? And they want to be a part of it. He also said that he's going to support the development of a strategic Bitcoin stockpile. Now, if you only understood how insane that is, we're going to dive into that a little bit more, okay? But he also said that he's going to prevent the Federal Reserve from creating its own digital currency, like its own stable coin, right? And then, of course, he said he's going to fire Gary Gensler on day one. These are all big statements. This is all regulatory clarity. Now, to go into more detail so people understand, a Bitcoin stockpile is insane, right? And I believe this could be the sell the news event. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin topping out, and we'll go into this in more detail towards the end of the video, we're going to be talking about exactly when I feel like I'm going to sell everything. When I'm like, at least right now, obviously my theory will get updated, through time, more information, right? But I believe I have a very, very specific point of when I'm going to sell my crypto. And this stockpile could be the main reason why I sell. Okay, and I want to go into this briefly, and then we'll elaborate on it in the future. But a stockpile refers to a large reserve of resources deliberately accumulated and maintained for strategic, economic, or security purposes. A strategic Bitcoin stockpile would be a national reserve of Bitcoin held by the government to safeguard financial security, hedge against economic instability, or leverage the growing importance of decentralized digital assets. Now, Trump is advocating for this. So what he's basically saying is the world is getting ahead and we're not. We need to essentially accumulate Bitcoin with tax dollars. I don't know how they're going to pay for it, but they're going to accumulate Bitcoin to essentially hedge against economic instability. That to me is pretty insane, especially when you look at the historical significance. So as you can see right here, this happened a handful of times. One time was in 1933, they stockpiled gold. And the whole point of this was to stabilize the global economy. They also strategically stockpiled petroleum in 1973 because there was an oil crisis. There was a national helium reserve in 1925 established to ensure a steady supply of helium for military airships. And they also had a national defense stockpile in 1939, which basically they pulled together materials like rubber, aluminum, and tungsten to prepare for shortages during World War II. Now, if you notice that a lot of this stuff is to essentially fix something. When they do a stockpile, they're either trying to prepare for a war or they're trying to stabilize the economy. Bitcoin to stabilize the economy when Bitcoin last cycle dropped by 70 something percent? How does that make sense? Also, they have stockpiled grain. So in the 1970s, to maintain and stabilize food prices, they stockpiled it. And they were doing the vaccines and medical supplies, as well as ammunition and weapon stockpiles in various periods of time, rare earth elements and gold and all these things, rare earth materials. I mean, the whole point of a stockpile is to protect yourself from something. Now, they're accumulating Bitcoin. So the question is, what are we protecting ourselves from? If we're accumulating Bitcoin, what are we protecting ourselves from? They anticipate that something significant is going to happen. Maybe it's because the world is advancing through crypto, and so they're like, we have to get on this or we're going to be left in the dust. And I think that's what Trump is pretty much trying to say, is like, the world's adopting crypto. We're going to make this the crypto capital of the world because we believe crypto is the future. That's essentially the gist here, guys. And the significance of this is important because this is something we have to take in consideration. When is Trump going to actually pull this off? I think this is probably the biggest one out of all the things Trump has said. This stockpile by far is the biggest one. So when is he going to do it? And this is a key indicator to watch because this will give us our sell. So Trump is not only providing regulatory clarity, guys, he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. And I think this could be the official start of the altcoin season, depending on what he rolls out. He could be rolling out the stockpile, or there could just be regulatory clarity. I think regulatory clarity is more on point, and I'll explain why. But what I know is this guy's going to go crazy. He's going to do a lot of things that will be very beneficial for crypto, and this could bring the entire market up. Let me show you history so you see what I'm talking about. Now, what we're looking at here is Bitcoin's dominance chart. When this chart goes down, that means Bitcoin is losing dominance over the market, but it doesn't mean that Bitcoin's dropping in value. So we could have a situation where Bitcoin loses dominance, we enter into an altcoin cycle, but Bitcoin's price keeps going up. Matter of fact, that's what happens every single time. So we could have a situation where it goes down and Bitcoin's price is still going up, which is what I'm anticipating to happen specifically with this altcoin cycle. I believe we're going to break through 100K BTC after Trump becomes president, which will send us up in Bitcoin's price and also at the same time send us into an altcoin season. But first, let's look at previous cycles. And we talked about this in the last video, but I did want to elaborate a lot more because I think it's really important. If we come over here, you could see that we reversed at this point right here. This was the top. Now, there's a couple interesting things to note. The first thing is that this was January 4th. And this was specifically in 2021. And if you know anything about presidential elections, you know they happen every 4 years. So when Biden went into office, this right here was the presidential inauguration. And Trump was in office right here. So Trump kind of had this like last ditch effort to essentially put in some regulatory clarity for stablecoins. So stablecoins specifically were allowed to make payments. This is crazy. Banks can now use stablecoins for making payments. This is like as big as a Bitcoin spot ETF, but it's for like crypto and stablecoins. And this started the altcoin cycle. Look, that started the altcoin cycle, right? Because this is Bitcoin dominance actually dropping. Look, Bitcoin dominance dropping. Now, what's interesting is that this is kind of a consistent thing. If you look throughout history, you know, Trump was about to lose his power as a president. So he puts in regulatory clarity before Biden comes into office. Look, presidential inauguration, which brings me to my point right now. The Biden administration could do something pretty significant to essentially end crypto. They're going to try to do something. No one knows exactly what. This is all theory. This is a guess. But could he do something within this period that drops the price of Bitcoin? Could Biden do something stupid? Because they've been attacking crypto for so long. I mean, it's very clear that they hate crypto. Kamala Harris and Biden hate crypto. Can they do something that will bring Bitcoin's price down? Potentially, maybe. No one knows for sure. But what I do know is that last cycle, this happened. This specifically happened, and this is actually what sent crypto into an altcoin cycle. This is right here what sent altcoins, just sent everything. So this gives us a little bit of clarity on the price decrease for Bitcoin. And it also gives us clarity on the next point I'm trying to make, which is like, hey, altcoin cycle is definitely going to start when President Trump comes into office. I want to be so clear so that everybody understands like every variable I'm trying to lay out here. So again, altcoin season starts when we have Trump in office because he's going to bring regulatory clarity or he's going to do a stockpile or something. He's going to do something crazy. And this is when the official altcoin season is going to start. And I proved throughout time that Trump has put in policies. Let me say it again. Trump has put in regulatory clarity to start an altcoin season before. He's done it. He's done it before. Why won't he do it again? This man owns an NFT collection and a crypto. His son owns a crypto. Like, just think about that. Just think about it for a second. He has started an altcoin season before. So when he comes into office, he's going to do it again. Bitcoin's going to break 100K. Now, this is like my favorite part of the video. This is so proprietary. Nobody has research on this in the market that I've seen. It's my own proprietary research. We're going to dive into that, which is like when we're going to sell. It's a whole topic at hand. Like, we got to take our time with this, okay? We got to break it down slowly. But I just want to make sure that I got all of this handled right here. Actually, let's do this. I think I got this handled, right? All right, we got to check there. All right, we got to check here. We got to check here. We got to check here. I think it's for sure that Trump is definitely going to put in some regulatory clarity or something crazy is going to happen with the Trump administration. Now, the official altcoin season starting here, no one knows for sure, but I think I provided a lot of evidence to state why this altcoin season is going to start and we're going to break through 100K BTC. So the question is, when is Bitcoin going to top out? And then what is a power cycle, right? And how long does the power cycle last? I think 30 days or so. And then we're going to enter a bear market. How do I predict this? How did I predict this? And I'm going to go over charts. It's going to be a little bit complex. Take your time, pause the video if you have to, get a coffee, relax, take some notes, really try to understand this. Watch this video again if you have to, because this is very important for you to actually make money in crypto. Now, there's no real way to tell, but what I do know from my group and everything is that it's very difficult to sell the top. We have multiple surveys here saying that the majority of people are not making money in crypto. Now, what happens is they're holding coins that increase significantly, right? So the value of the coins increase, but they never realize the profits. They never sell because of the overexcitement. Now, most people are like, oh, well, I can sell. I'll be okay. I'm going to sell, because I'm better than them and things like that. Don't be prideful. Like the first cycle I was ever involved with, I didn't sell. I held all the way through the bottom because somebody convinced me to hodl. It was stupid and I lost all of my gains. This is so consistent. This is like one of the most consistent things in crypto. So the question is, okay, when it comes to selling, when do we sell? This is so important. Now, this chart looks a little bit overwhelming, but I'm going to try to break it down for you as easy as I possibly can. The first one is just simply Bitcoin's price. Remember that. This is Bitcoin's price. The second one is Ethereum's price. This is Ethereum's price. The third one is Ethereum's price divided by Bitcoin's price. So when it comes to these types of equations, right? When it comes to like dividing Ethereum by Bitcoin, it's very simple. It's like so easy to understand. If you look at this division, the first part, the first symbol, which is the ELX, this is called the Ethereum Liquid Index. It's like the best aggregate price of Ethereum, right? That first symbol represents the upward price action, which this is technically not price, it's percentage, but this upward movement is Ethereum. The downward movement is Bitcoin. So when this chart goes up, that means Ethereum is doing better than Bitcoin. When this chart goes down, that means Bitcoin is doing better than Ethereum. Now, the last one's a little bit complex, but you have to understand it. Now, what we're looking at is the total 3. So the total 3 is every altcoin excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is every altcoin excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So just think about it. All altcoins, take away Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's this purple down below. Now we're dividing that by the ELX. So if you divide all the altcoins by the biggest altcoin, Ethereum is like the biggest altcoin. It's like, to me, like an indicator. Ethereum is an indicator, right? And basically the whole point here is to identify periods of time where altcoins even are doing better than Ethereum itself, which Ethereum outcompetes Bitcoin. It does better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the worst percentages out of any other coin. Like, it's safe. Not really. I can't even say it's safe because it drops by 70%. It's safer than other coins, but it has the worst percentages. Ethereum does significantly better than Bitcoin every cycle. And Ethereum is used basically as like an indicator for all altcoins. And here's why. If you want to buy an altcoin, like let's say you want an altcoin, you technically have to buy Ethereum for gas. Now you don't have to, but like 85, 90% of the time, people are buying ETH to pay for the altcoin because you need Ethereum. This is the whole point of Ethereum. If you don't understand what Ethereum is, you might want to look into that a little bit. It's a smart contract platform. And if I want an altcoin, I essentially have to buy Ethereum to pay for the gas. Think about gas in a car. If you want to move from point A to B, you have to use gas. It's the same thing in crypto. If you want to move your money from one wallet to another wallet, or if you want to buy something, or if you want to make a trade, whatever it is, you need gas. So usually people buy ETH to purchase an altcoin. This is why I say it's a leading indicator. Everyone has to buy ETH to get into an altcoin like 90% of the time. It's like a big thing in crypto that has always been the reality of the situation. Now, obviously, there's other chains, there's other layer 2s, but they're not even close to the amount of liquidity on Ethereum. There is no second to Ethereum. Now, I'm not just saying that because of the bias of like me loving Ethereum. I'm saying that because there genuinely is no second. Like, there is no second. Like, Ethereum has all the liquidity. Let me show you. If you look at Ethereum's TVL, this is total value locked. This is the amount of money that's on Ethereum. The second is Solana. There's no, like, this is not even close. It's 7 times bigger. So yes, everybody goes to Ethereum. Everyone, all the big whales, all the big money, somebody with $20 million is probably going to go on Ethereum. Probably not Solana or Tron. Now, Solana's price has been increasing. But I'm telling you, for the purpose of what I'm trying to explain, of the overall market, people are going to buy ETH to buy altcoins. So Ethereum is a very significant leading indicator. It's a leading indicator for the altcoin market. And I'm just trying to make that point so you guys understand where I'm coming from. So hopefully you understand that we've established that the Bitcoin dominance chart that we're looking at here, this is like the official altcoin cycle start. Bitcoin lose dominance, altcoins start, right? This is the altcoin season. These are the altcoin seasons. This period of time, altcoin season, altcoin season. Now, this doesn't represent all the big percentages though. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys is that there's this weird cycle at the end where it gets really crazy. This is what I call the power cycle. So there's the altcoin cycle, and then the power cycle is at the end right here. The beauty of the power cycle is this is where all the majority of the money is being made. Right here is where the majority of the money is made. Not only that, but this is the best signal I have ever found till the end of the market. This right here, the overexcitement ends the market. In every bubble, let me say it again, every bubble in the world through the history of mankind, when people get overly excited, overly exuberant, They start buying things they can't afford, and they start making very dramatic, wild decisions based off of overexcitement. This always leads to the bubble popping. So this power cycle is not only the most lucrative time ever, but it is also the reason why the market in its entirety, including Bitcoin, ends. This right here was the power cycle the first time in 2017. So there's like an altcoin cycle, but you see that like it kind of trades sideways a little bit. There's sideways price action, but then there's like this period where it just gets absurd. And then this is like probably a power cycle as well. Like there's these periods where it just gets ridiculous. Like this is the altcoin season, but notice that's like kind of sideways and then boom, and just straight down. And this is Bitcoin dominance. Remember, we're looking at Bitcoin dominance. So this is so important to understand because right here is when altcoins do well. So this entire time, Ethereum is going to be doing well because Ethereum is considered an altcoin. But like right here is when all of those low, small liquidity coins, the little baby ones, the small ones that have the most price increase potential, the ones that will do the best and increase by 100,000%, 200,000%, these crazy numbers are usually around this period right here. And then once it goes up by that much, people are just like, wow, this is actually a little bit too ridiculous. Like the coins are going up by 50,000%. Now it's time to sell. And then all the big whales start selling, bubble pops, end of the market, bear market, right? So I want to show you more about this. So look at this time period right here. Look at March 2021. This is when it like officially started. What I did is I pulled up the top 10 altcoins by percentage increase, the best producing altcoins. Let's look at when it started taking off. Look, March 2021 is when it exploded. When it exploded was March 2021. And look, it was by a Bitcoin top. Now, we had another rise in Bitcoin's price over here, but this was primary manipulation. You know, if you were there in 2021, it was like very, very manipulated. But in general, look, March, remember that date. Look, March, we see Bitcoin topping out, and then we go into a power cycle. So the power cycle's characteristics are basically Bitcoin topping out. Bitcoin usually tops out, and then altcoins go insane. All of the money from Bitcoin just comes out. Now look, March. This is March right here. March, and then it takes off. These are the top 10 altcoins by percentage increase, not market cap. Market cap is a lying metric. People have lied to you on the internet, unfortunately. But market cap does not show you anything that has to do with you making money. It just shows you what's the biggest coins. And just because a coin has a small market cap doesn't mean it can move up fast. They've lied to you. Micro cap and big caps or whatever they call it is a lie. Go look into it for yourself. But right here, look, January, February, look at March. March, it takes off. This is last cycle by percentage increase, the best producing coins on the market. Look at March. Now, this one was a little early, and there are outliers. This is not perfect. The power cycle didn't encapsulate every perfect altcoin. Like right here, look. This is a little bit later. This came out later because of this second cycle here with second Bitcoin's top. It's usually big like March though. Look, January, February, March. This is March right here. March, right? These are the top 10 altcoins by percentage increase. Look. Now this one came later. This was Gala Games. And we have something called narrative economic theory on, you know, what narratives pop off at specific times. I'm not going to go into that in this video. We'll have future videos on that. But in general, as you can see, the vast majority of the coins, you know, did well in March, which confirms my theory. If we bring it back to the Bitcoin dominance, this was March right here. So when it really flew down, it just seemed like all of the altcoins that did the best by percentage increase, they did well around this period of time. They started right here, right? And then it seemed like that was also Bitcoin's top. So it came down and it was also Bitcoin's top on like that. That was when Bitcoin topped out. Let's pull it up, right? So if I pull up in BLX, look right here, Bitcoin topped out. Now it had right here, look, this is Bitcoin's price. This was the start of the power cycle. So it's like Bitcoin topped out and all of the liquidity went into altcoins. Now we had another top here, but this was like a scam pump. If we come over here, it was the same thing. Look at Bitcoin's top. Bitcoin's top, power cycle. Look, Bitcoin's top, power cycle. Power cycle, Bitcoin's top, right? There's like very clear indicator that shows that when Bitcoin tops out, all the liquidity, all the money from Bitcoin flows into altcoins, and it gives us the best percentages. And then literally as soon as that altcoin cycle ends, the market ends too. We go into a bear cycle. So this is the bear market right here. And if we come over here, this was a little bit different, but basically if you sold right here, you would have been good money. You wouldn't have missed out on a lot. If you sold right here, you would have not missed out on a lot. Like I would have sold here and I would have just waited for right here to buy back in. But in general, like that's the characteristics of this altcoin cycle. So basically we have a big altcoin cycle, then we have a power cycle. This is the top of Bitcoin. Usually it's not perfect, but when the Bitcoin tops out, all the liquidity moves into altcoins, which give us the best percentages by far out of anything else. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Now let's line this up with this last chart that really proves my point. This green zone here is potentially the power cycle. And why? Because we're looking at the total 3. So this is all the altcoins divided by Ethereum's price. All the other altcoins divided by Ethereum's price. So that means that when this goes up, that means the altcoins are doing better than Ethereum. When this goes down, that means Ethereum is doing better than the altcoins. So there was this period of time right here. Let's look at 2021 first. Right here, there's a period of time where the altcoins did better than Ethereum. Look at the date. January, February, March. Power cycle. This lines up with the date I keep talking about. March. January, February, March was literally the power cycle. And this was exactly Bitcoin's top. So this is Bitcoin's price right here. This was Bitcoin's top. So this proves my point again. Altcoins did better than even in Ethereum itself right around this period of time right here. Now let's look at the 2017 cycle, right? Again, right here at the top is Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin topped out. Look at these altcoins. Look at all the altcoins. November 2017, look at that. Altcoins did better than Ethereum itself. And remember, Ethereum's like the big indicator. So everybody was dumping money from Bitcoin into these altcoins, and it went crazy. Now let's look at the top 10 by percentage increase coins from this time period. What was the best coins in this cycle, and when did they start doing well? I know you guys know I don't play around when it comes to my research. The same exact thing. Look, November. Now I did well over here, but look at November. November 2017. This date should look familiar. Why? Because that was right here, November 2017. Power cycle, Bitcoin's top. Power cycle, Bitcoin's top. So this is the point I've been trying to make over and over again. Look, this is from 2017, a top 10 by percentage increase, meaning the most lucrative assets on the face of the planet. Look, right here, November 2017. Look at right here. Look at right here, October, November 2017. Let's keep going. December, November, December 2017. Look, December. Are you guys catching it? Look, October, November 2017, almost 100%, guys. November. These are all the best coins. December, right? November. November. I mean, it's 100% consistent. In this cycle, 100% consistent. Every top 10 altcoin by percentage increase, we're talking about big numbers like this, guys. 20,000%, 128,000% increase. Like these numbers, these absurd, crazy numbers came all at the same period of time. They came through the power cycle. So if we're looking at Bitcoin dominance chart, again, when the altcoin season starts, right? It starts. There's a specific period of time called the power cycle. The power cycle leads to the most significant percentage increase on the best coins ever, like 50,000%, 100,000%, 125,000%, crazy numbers that we've never seen, which ultimately leads to Bitcoin topping out. Bitcoin topped out right here because it's overexcitement and overexuberance. And this overexcitement, when someone makes 125,000%, they're going to want to sell. All these big people, it's just too much excitement. The excitement ends the market. The excitement ends the market, and the excitement comes from altcoins. And this leads us to our final points. That Bitcoin is going to top out, start the power cycle. So I think we could take this check, put it here. And then there's going to be about 30 days or so where we're actually going to sell. Let's go into that briefly. Actually, I was wrong about the 30 days. It could be like 67, like a month or 2 months. So as you can see right here in the zone, we have 67 days and we have 83 days. Regardless of the fact is, when this power cycle happens, what I'm going to do is literally just like all eyeballs on selling. Like I'm going to probably sell as quickly as I can. I'm going to wait like a month, 30 days, and then I'm going to start exiting the market to take my profit to sell a little bit early. You don't want to sell later. You want to sell earlier because these coins will fall very, very dramatically and lose a lot of percentages. So hopefully that makes sense. I really, really hope that makes sense. Now, I know that was a lot, but I got to be very clear with you guys. When it comes to this type of research, it's important to me. And the reason why it's important is because you see the percentages, guys. This is how crypto works. You know, businesses typically have a cycle. Every business has a cycle. And so, for example, like retail business, usually they'll do the most sales in December. And then during summer, you know, it kind of slows down a little bit. Their cycles are yearly. But in cryptocurrency, it's 4 years. So essentially, as a crypto business, and this is what differentiates a lot of analysis from other people, and you know, this is what differentiates at least what I'm doing, is that I truly run crypto businesses based off of cryptocurrency that are not something in a different market. So this basically puts me in a corner. I have to be as accurate as I can for survival. I essentially have to make as much money as I possibly can in this cycle, and then that money has to last me 2 to 3 years until the next bull run. That's crazy, right? So I've dumped a significant amount of resources, guys, a significant amount of resources into understanding this. And so this is basically what led me to the decision of closing the doors to my groups. So if you didn't hear it in the beginning, I'm closing my groups. You cannot buy it. I don't know when I'm going to reopen it. But what I do know is that I want to focus all of my might, everything. So I'm going to close the door and I'm going to build the greatest altcoin strategy I have ever made in my life. And I'm also going to be researching altcoins like a madman. I'm just going to research altcoins like a madman. I'm going to build the greatest strategy, because once the official altcoin season starts, and it could have already started, like, you know, I made a whole bunch of theory and predictions and things like that, but it could have already started. Once it actually gets crazy, right? And these altcoins go up absurd percentages, then I'm not going to have any time at all. I'm not going to have any time. It's just going to be executing. It's just going to be executing, buying, selling, looking for a new altcoin, doing this, doing that, you know, building the business. I'm not going to be able to hone in on strategy. So for the next 30, 60 days or so until the altcoin season starts, I'm just going to lock in. I'm just going to lock in, put my head down, and you should do the same thing. If you're watching this video, you should pretty much drop other things in your life. This is a serious conversation I'm trying to have with you. This is no joke. Like, you have to take this serious. It's important because there's nothing else that would give you these types of returns. And you also have to be real with yourself. A lot of people are not professionals. Like, just look at the video, for example, right? It's like an hour long or so, whatever this video that you just watched. What if I told you that there's so much more detail and complexity into what I just explained? This is probably like 10% of the true equation of what I'm looking at on the back end, right? And having a community is important. It's so important for your survival and success. Not just success, but also survival. Cryptocurrency is savage. It's a whole new world. So I highly recommend that you treat it like a professional and humble yourself. There's a huge difference from playing basketball by yourself on weekends, trying to become an NBA basketball player, you know, working at yourself and, you know, making it up as you go, versus somebody that just goes to a professional basketball player and takes all of their systems and their structures and their checklists and, you know, putting it into their life. There's such a big difference. You're going to pay for it either way. You're going to pay for it through losing money, or you could pay somebody else to advance your career in cryptocurrency as aggressively as possible. And this is what I sell. If you haven't noticed, right? I don't sell altcoins. If you notice, do not accept paid sponsorships in the history of my entire crypto career. I do not accept paid sponsorships. This will sacrifice the integrity of my research. There's guys out there that act like they're doing good research, but on the side, they're getting paid by the coin that they promote. Are you promoting the coin because you really think it's good, or are you promoting it because somebody paid you to do it? So this is what I got to do, right? Cash flow and investing. Investing gives you the multiples on your money, but I don't sell my coins for 6 months to a year, right? So I teach people how to do it. And that's the cash flow plus invest. You need both types of income for financial stability. So it's like nobody calls college a scam, but yet when you get out of college, just think about it. When you get out of college, you're not guaranteed a job, right? And they give you a certificate that the information you learned is outdated. You have no skill set. Like, I highly recommend, and I'm not saying this for any other reason, but I highly recommend you guys get involved with CoinPix. Get involved. The link is in the pinned comment below. I highly recommend it. I'm closing the doors. It's going to be over with. People are going to be upset about this. I'm closing the doors. I'll open it in the future when we relaunch our product, which is going to be crazy, by the way. It's going to be insane. I think we're going to revolutionize coaching while we do it. But the point is, man, I want you guys to win. And I'll always, I'm going to be updating YouTube, and you guys will get the shorts and the reels on Instagram. And, I'm always going to be in the mix. But I just really want, man, people to take it serious. I feel a little bit like, I feel bad for people, because the vast majority of the people in this market that lose money are the prideful ones. That was me. The guy didn't want to listen to nobody. That was me, man. And I just don't want that for you. I want you guys to win. So again, highly suggest you take advantage. And what I want to do is I want to show you some testimonials from people that have taken advantage of CoinPix. So the goal here is to get you to make money so that you could pay yourself off for the course, right? People do make money with the system. People are making, like $9,000 profit. This person doubled their portfolio. This person made 60% in 3 weeks. We have 3K in profits. It's not a lie. Like, these percentages are real. This is not just me looking at the price of an asset. These are real people that are posting results in CoinPix Inner Circle and in CoinPix Army. And all of my products, I've been able to aggregate thousands of testimonials, guys. Thousands. I'm not talking about hundreds. I'm talking about thousands of testimonials. Look at this. Now, I'm pretty sure he didn't put $1,000 in there, but the percentages are crazy. This guy made $55,000 in 5 weeks. Not only do I have testimonials in recent history, but I also have testimonials 3-4 years ago. I've been doing this like clockwork. It's a system. It's repeatable. I have a system that's repeatable, that all you have to do is follow it, not follow me, because it's not financial advice, but I give you all of my structures and systems and my checklists and everything. And people make money with CoinPix products. I don't care what other people say. People make money with CoinPix products. It's serious, guys. So you have a choice to make. You could walk the minefield blind, try to do it by yourself without answers or education. Stay comfortable. Don't put in any hard work. Don't surround yourself with other people that are doing more than you. Isolate with no support. Roll the dice on your future and lose a whole bunch of money trying to figure it out yourself. Or you could stack the deck in your favor and get it right the first time. Give yourself every advantage possible. Use a map that's already been created for the past 8 years, guys. I've been trading crypto for 8 years. I'm just going to give you the map, right, to navigate that war zone. Take on a challenge armed to the teeth. Have guides, mentors, and support, right? Just think about it. Just skip the testing and the expensive learning curve and get you straight to the answer. But I'll still be dropping crazy videos on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching this channel. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Have a beautiful one.